Hi, I'm Ananth Ramaswamy, and this is how I live with style. We're in my apartment in Kennington. I live here with my husband, Alex. Alex bought the flat in 2018, and I moved in 2020, just before the pandemic. It was a week before the actual lockdown happened. That's how we got very acquainted with Kennington and with each other. The apartment spans across two terraced houses on the second floor, and it gives you these wider spaces which you don't normally find. Each room has sort of 3 windows, and it almost resembles a bit more of a Georgian layout. Alex and I really were in a stage of our lives where we like to entertain and we like to host dinner parties, but we thought, why not be more generous with this and actually have a full purpose-made dining room, which is a real luxury. In terms of decorating, this is where Alex came in quite strongly, because he had a lot of amazing furniture that he'd inherited from his family, and I was a little bit more flexible because as a designer I sort of work with what other people want. That meant that I was sort of working with Alex as a client, if you like, and that I enjoyed actually, because he had a lot of lovely furniture. There was the bookshelf behind me, or there was the revolving bookshelf next to me. These became anchor pieces in each room, and then we started building around those pieces of furniture. Things that were made 50 years ago were just better made. There was just better materials used. They've stood the test of time, so it just means that they're probably going to last another 50 years. So also, often we found that buying off auctions also is you get great value for really good furniture. So this is our living room. So we spend a lot of our time in this room, and for that reason we wanted it to feel light. We wanted it to feel like we could use it through the day but also enjoy it in the evenings. We picked this sort of setting plaster shade from Farrow & Ball, which does really well for us because in the day you get this really lovely earthy pinky tone, and in the night when all the lovely lamps come on, it sort of goes almost this sort of peachy hue. There's always sort of 3 layers of lighting that I think are really important in every room. You've got your down lights on the ceiling, which are intentionally placed in the corners, so they sort of spot the bookshelves or spot a piece of art. And then we've got the mid-level lighting, which is basically our table lamps, and this floor lamp as well. We have loads of candles in the room, and particularly the candlesticks on the coffee table, which I bought in the Conran shop. Victorian wall sconces, which are also candle lit with a lovely antique mirror on them. I come from South India, a city called Bangalore, and I think over time, having traveled back and forth a lot, I've started collecting pieces that are from India, but also that tell some story about where I'm from. So this is a box we actually bought in London in an auction. It's from the Deccan Plateau in South India, and it's used to sort of store betel nut and pan, which is a digestive that people eat after meals. It's a lovely thing. It has a great weight to it and a lovely form. We've got this bit of a building really. It's a niche, probably from the 18th century. The picture on it is probably a bit later, from the 20th century, but it's probably from an old building, Italian maybe. Yeah, it just had great scale. Also just the carving was really beautiful on the top. And I think the gilding that's on the carving on the top is still original. These are actually gifted to us by a friend of mine from Bangalore. They're Kinal heads from the Koppal region in North Karnataka. They're usually a man and a woman, but we were gifted 2 male heads, which I like. This is actually a French-Polynesian tapa cloth from New Guinea. It's actually pounded wet bark that almost forms this sort of fabric or textile quality to it, and then they paint these inscriptions on it. This is a room that has grown over time, and we still keep adding to it, removing from it, but I think the base layout and the base sort of room that we've set up really serves us well, and I think that gives us a lot of satisfaction. We're going to the dining room next, and you can follow me. We're now in the dining room. It's a Victorian terrace, so there's some choices in here that lean towards that heritage. So there's the chinoiserie wallpaper, which very obviously has a Victorian history to it. The dining room is a really important part of our apartment. We work here, we host dinner parties here. Food is really important to Alex and I, and we've sort of dedicated this one large room to dining. We can have friends over a lot and build friendships. It's really an important part of how we live, is that we bring people together, and I think that's what this room facilitates. There's a glass cabinet in this room. It's a piece that was given to my husband from his grandmother, and it now has a lot of storage in it for all our glassware. This dining table actually, it is a mid-century sort of design, so it just fades away. It doesn't draw attention to itself. And the chairs are Georgian, they're about 200 years old, so we've had them fixed and mended. We ended up choosing a quite contemporary fabric for the upholstered seat on it, which actually Alex, my husband, upholstered himself. But it sort of pulls in a lot of the colors around in the room, so they kind of work very well with the overall scheme. Every dining room needs a little drink station, and this is ours. It fits really neatly in this alcove. So all you really need is a nice tray, a nice bucket, and some glasses, and you're good to go. The other feature of the room is, of course, the bookcase. I think the books, they're a sort of reflection of more Alex than me. I've got more design books. Alex has got a huge collection of all sorts. And also the odd ends and bits that we've sort of used in the shelves. So there's a Mac in there, which is now a bit of a museum piece, really. So this is our bedroom. We chose it primarily for the light. Lighting, again, really important in a bedroom. Love bedside lamps, reading lights, and a pendant if we ever need it when we're getting ready. It's where we want to relax, where we want to kind of wind down. And really all the decisions around the finishes and everything we've chosen in this room are driven by that sense of calm. In bedrooms, of course, storage is really important. So we have our built-in unit over here. As it's a Victorian home, most of these rooms end up having a chimney breast and these two alcoves. So we've built the wardrobe right into the alcove to maximize every inch of space for storage. The bed is modern, again has a rattan headboard. The rattan is just a nice sort of tie through with some of the other pieces of furniture we have in the other rooms. The blanket actually on the bed is handmade by one of Alex's friends who's also a barrister. It's a special pattern called the barrister's pattern. I think the common thread when you're putting a home together yourself is you. So as you buy things, they ultimately all work with things that your eye chooses. You can just kind of make decisions based on what you love. So this is the kitchen. We both enjoy cooking, so it's messy, it's steamy, it's saucy, it's spicy, it's all kinds of things going on. So you don't have a lot of exposed shelves because I do think they catch a lot of dust and they catch a lot of grime. And yeah, that was really important when designing the kitchen. This is an IKEA kitchen, but we made the IKEA kitchen work hard for us in that we used panels to fill all of the spaces above the units, so it almost feels like a built-in kitchen. And the investment went in good, high-quality worktop, which is a lovely honed Carrara top. We don't allow ourselves to kind of be too careful, and I kind of like that because it just starts to age quite nicely as we use it. And then, like always, there's also lovely found pieces that we've added to the kitchen slowly. The table over here is one such piece which we found in auction. Again, it had a surprisingly matching Carrara top, which worked really well for us. And these really lovely bentwood chairs with rattan. Again, rattan being that sort of tie-through material that we've got in most of our rooms, which again gives us that nice sense of continuity as you move from room to room. And then this light here, actually, sometimes we host a small lunch or a small breakfast in here for our friends, and there might be 4 or 5 of us. So what we do is just pull the table to the center of the kitchen. This light nicely extends over, and it actually creates a really nice pool of light over the table. This is a really lovely teapot that's designed by my cousin. She has a industrial design brand. And then, of course, the dual-lit toaster is a must-have because my husband's obsessed with toast. And yeah, lots of other things that we enjoy cooking with and using.